What's up, everybody? It's Chris Riggins here. Hey, let's talk basketball. I mean, I know I'm a short dude. I don't normally talk sports or basketball and things like that because what happens above my height range isn't my concern. I want to talk about basketball. So you guys that love basketball can join in with this talk, okay? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the world champion Golden State Warriors. Right, shout out to the whole team. Shout out to my man, Draymond, Money Green. You know, I told you it was the heart of the team. I meant it. And a special shout out goes to Andrew. That's right, Andrew, this is for you. Andrew recently proved to us all that winning a championship isn't enough. It just isn't always enough. You need more. He came out saying that he regrets his decision to take the vaccine in order to play one of his greatest seasons of his career. It just got me wondering. Winning a ring wasn't enough, Andrew? So what you're saying is, throughout all that, the one thing you regret is taking that vaccine because you said, as you say, you didn't have a choice. I either had to take the shot or I couldn't play basketball. Hey, Andrew, I don't know where you come from, but where I come from, that's called a choice. As adults, sometimes we have to make choices and we don't like the options. No, you had very good options, Andrew. You could not take the shot, or you could take the shot and play. You chose to take the money, Andrew, and I'm not mad at you. I don't think anybody can fault you. You are not wrong for doing it. No, I get it. You want to be like Kyrie. Well, here's the thing. Kyrie makes a lot more money than you. You really aren't anti-vax. You really just were following behind what somebody else said, because if you were really convicted to those values, you wouldn't have compromised for the millions of dollars you got paid to play basketball. Now, get it. I'm not one of those guys that say, hey, shut up and dribble. Keep your opinions yourself. But I am one of those guys that understands that you are making an ass of yourself. Accept your ring. You won. You got the best. You almost got MVP, my guy. You had posterizing dunks. You imagine if you hadn't took the shot, how all that would have looked? I didn't want to take the vaccine either, but I also wanted to make the choice that you wanted to make. So live with it, bro. Teach the kids that when they make a decision, they have to stand on it. At least Kyrie stood on his. You over here flip-flopping after you won a championship. So if you didn't want to take the vaccine, you shouldn't have. But you did. Why? Because you like money. That's why you took it, my guy. Don't act like we crazy because you took the money. You should have, I regret taking it. No, you don't regret taking it, because if you had not taken it, you might not be a world champion right now, and you might be getting traded. Other basketball news, let's talk about it. Brittany Griner is still locked away in Russia, waiting to come home after being found at the airport with traces of hash oil, not weed, but hash oil. What we have to talk about here is how women's basketball is clearly not seen the same way as men's basketball. Now, recently, I know some people have been saying, well, you know, if the WNBA players made more money, Brittany wouldn't have had to go to Russia to play basketball for money, because that's what she is. She's a professional basketball player. She can't play in the WNBA and go get a job at Chick-fil-A on the weekend, because that's not how it works. Okay, she's a professional athlete. That's what she does for a living. And if she's not making enough money here to sustain her professional athlete life, then yes, she has to go abroad to play. And that's the one thing that a lot of women's sports face in the world today. I've seen some guys say, well, you know, it's women's fault that the WNBA isn't making any money because they aren't supporting the games. And I like to correct you, sir. Actually, it is not women's fault, because women are the only ones supporting the WNBA. You know who's failing the WNBA? And I know you guys don't want to hear this. It's all you basketball fans who claim, oh, I can't wait till basketball starts again. Oh, baseball's on. I don't want to watch anything but basketball. Basketball. All you talk is basketball, but when you have an opportunity to actually go support basketball, you don't, which is the WNBA. Let's just be honest. Maybe they should just let Brittany go and join the NBA, because NBA does not say NBA, it says NBA, which means National Basketball Association, which has no gender to it. But it's crazy that somehow they had to create a WNBA because, of course, women are not the same as men. My daughter played elementary school basketball. They won a championship in 5th grade. You know how many people from the school showed up to the game? 5. 5 people showed up to the school from the game. So please don't sit here and tell me it's women and feminine who are complaining about the WNBA not getting as much fame as the NBA, that it's their fault. No, it's not their fault. It's all you dudes out there that love basketball but will not go watch women's basketball. And it's been happening like that for the longest. And if you really look at it, women make less than men in every single profession, guys. This is for everything. Women make statistically less than men in all professions across the board. So in the WNBA, of course the women make less because we devalue women's sports, okay? Why is it that men can coach women's sports, but women can't coach men's sports? We've had male referees, male coaches in college women's hoops for the whole time I've seen it. And just now we're getting women to referee NBA games, which is a big deal. There's still no women NBA coaches. And I'm tired of these guys out here saying, well, if they just pull themselves up by their bootstraps. You men out there sound like white people telling black people that there's no racism. It is very much a sexism problem, okay? Brittany Griner would make 3 times as much if she was a man in the NBA. And I know people say, well, the NBA's been around longer. But here's the thing I don't get. Didn't the NBA start the WNBA? So I don't understand why the NBA doesn't have an investment in helping the WNBA along. It doesn't make sense to me. It incenses me out there. If you just look at the facts, women's sports are neglected. Women's sports get less money from colleges. Women's sports get less viewership because we don't respect women in their sports, okay? Well, that's why colleges in California had to create the Title IX law, because they had to create an equal amount of women's sports. We see it all the time. We see it everywhere, okay? You, ask your mom, ask your sister. It is out there. And to just dismiss the WNBA as, just not trying hard enough is completely disingenuous and probably kind of foul, too. It's kind of based in sexism, because it's kind of like that whole idea that they're not doing enough when we know there are things stacked against them that men just don't want to admit. Just admit it, guys. You don't think women's sports is exciting, so you don't. Because here's a funny thing, right? It's crazy. Y'all care about women's sports when a trans woman is trying to compete, but y'all don't give a fuck about women's sports when the women are trying to get equal pay. That's crazy to me. How is it you more worried about a transgender swimmer in a sport that you don't even watch or care about or can name any women that are top? You're mad about that, but yet you feel that the WNBA just ain't trying hard enough, that these women just ain't good enough at basketball for us to watch. Well, I just say it like this. If you really claim that you love basketball, like you say you love basketball, you would be at WNBA games too. That's all I got about basketball. I don't got much. I don't dribble. I don't shoot. But I do have observations, and I can see, A, you got to stick by your guns, Andrew. If you didn't want to take the shot, you shouldn't have took it, and you would have got the respect of this guy for at least holding on to your truths. But you didn't. You went for the money, didn't you? You went for the money. And all you guys out there, you need to stop, okay? Because we know the fact. If LeBron had been detained in Russia, every organization in America would be fighting to get him back. Don't be mad at facts, because these women are pointing out that you guys are slipping in your activism. Anyway, I'll see y'all next time. Trip Corner. Peace.